the second coming ending is the beginning. In earth, as in all God's domain, there is no end and no beginning. Therefore, I, Jesus, say unto you that which has end is but the beginning, for it has within itself the seed for new opportunities. That is why I come again, to birth in this consciousness and level of being for a new era and time, that which is the heritage of all men in all time. You have been long in waiting, and you have been much longer in preparation, for the preparation has been in the beginning and is to be carried on until the end, and the end will be its beginning of new birth, Christ consciousness. That is how we shall begin, and that is how we shall end this era, this time, and this planetary cycle of now. Let it be heard and let it be understood by all men everywhere that not any one, not any field, not any endeavor is wasted or has been wasted from the beginning and until the end, which is now, in time sequence. It has been said by many before, and will continue to be said, that my return is but a symbol and cannot be taken as a literal truth. However, I come to tell you it is false to so believe, it is false to so teach, for there is truth in the fact that resurrection of the flesh, resurrection of the teaching with which I am associated and which is associated with the I Am, must become a reality on the earth planet for its new birth of freedom. This must take place before the end and unto the beginning of this new dispensation cycle or age, which we will call the Golden Era in its good time and place. It must be made so manifest because of the promise and because of the methods of infinite continuation. That which has a beginning in truth and ends a cycle must in itself begin again the new cycle, for from the old the new must come forth, from the end is the sign of the beginning. This is as it should be, and this must be, in divine truth, carried out upon this plane and planet as it has been throughout all eternity. That is why it has been hidden from man, for if he had known unto this time and place that all was inevitable, he would not have worked to secure this knowledge and experience. And that was not the plan and cannot be the continuation of such a plan. It is from this ending of the dispensation and the teachings which I am responsible for in this particular plane and planet that it comes from my own demonstration. Why has it been not precluded or pre-announced through the orthodox teachings and fundamentals? Because it was to be hidden for some time from the consciousness of many or the masses, and until this time enlightenment was for the few. Though any could become enlightened if they so chose, and none were chosen to be in darkness that did not choose themselves to be in darkness. However, there comes, in the end, a time for enlightenment of the beginning. When in the enlightenment of the beginning, therefore, there must be an end of the darkness, for it is the end of that cycle and that level of comprehension. Therefore, the end and the beginning are one and cannot be separated. In time eternal, as God marks all cycles and progressive continuum, there must be within the scheme a definite place and period for this activity. For from the beginning unto the end there are cycles within cycles, steps within steps, lessons within lessons, and learnings for the soul. Therefore, the end and the beginning, though they be one, are separated by steps between the beginning and the end. So you have it now in your time and in your present evolutionary demonstration. That is why those who are enlightened of the I Am consciousness must begin to realize and to demonstrate this beginning or this end of what has been on the earth. What is the birth of mass Christ consciousness but the fact that each cell or each soul demonstrating upon the earth will reach the peak of perfection that has been attained on this plane or planet by the highest teacher and servant of that plane and planet. I am that demonstrator, I am that fulfillment. This is not only the I Am known as the Incarnation Jesus, Sananda, or, in past lives, Gautama Buddha, Socrates, and even the prophet Moses of the Old Jewish Testament. It is the I Am consciousness that prevails throughout the universe, the connection with the I Am self or Christ level of sonship with Father Mother God. It must be the beginning of new birth, new consciousness, new demonstration of the highest possible consciousness for the particular frequency vibration known as Earth. In addition to this, it must be the end of that frequency vibration in order to bring forth a new frequency vibration that is and shall be known as the fourth dimensional consciousness, Christ consciousness, or extra, outside of physical, sensation. It is known and has been demonstrated for eons of time that there are senses and functions outside of the five sensual ones of the three-dimensional planet known as Earth, and always there have been some who could demonstrate and bring forth this faculty. But none have brought it through without also remaining in the physical vehicle. This included the peak of my incarnations on earth known as Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah of the Jews or the Christ. It is, at this time, the need for all to come into that self-consciousness of the resurrected soul. It has been, and must be remembered, that this is a blueprint or a pattern from which all men may evolve. In ways and means of spirit, throughout eternity and its own creation, it sets a mold and places within that mold an indestructible, inevitable, continuing formula. From that, each other one passes through in order to bring forth his own individualized conception of that pattern. No two are ever alike, no two may be compared. However, they may be judged or analyzed from the original pattern. In forming a new level of consciousness or group variety of demonstration, it must be worked out of the mold and multiplied upon the mold. Thus, the mold may be one as was demonstrated 2,000 years ago and even prior to that time, and upon that mold must come multiples of that function and those demonstrations until all that remain in the area of vibrational frequency are simulating or amplifying that particular code or system. Thus, it is your function to work from the mold or pattern which was set down not by myself but the I am within myself. The Christ pattern which originates from the Godhead, the Father-Mother God which creates the sonship or the Trinity aspect of itself. Thus, I am both Jesus the Christ and the Christ pattern which was Jesus. So it must be within you to demonstrate the pattern of the I am and to fulfill the individualized function of your own Christ cell or soul. Who you are and what you have come to do are part and parcel of the present cycle of time, as it overlaps with the full recognition and demonstration of that individualization into the fourth dimension, or the golden era as we shall call it. In that time the third dimensional frequency, or five sensual pattern that is concurrent or is demonstrated by that frequency, can be absolved, resolved, transmuted, uplifted, and eventually eliminated from your individual experience. But through that demonstration or dimension you must evolve, not in some other way or in some other time. Nothing is complicated in God's universe. Yet it does not seem simple to you, for you have blinded yourself to simplicity. Therefore, by complicating the simplicity you have become complicated in your own comprehension and application of simple divine truth and form. Let it not be a continuation in this manner. For those who will continue to contribute confusion to the simple doctrines of evolutionary unfoldment will have to develop a karmic attraction to one another involving another area of development and involution. It is not unlike God's way to bring this about. Therefore, what choice you have at this time of the end, which begins the new cycle of time, is to level yourselves between two independent particulars. To go forward and remove the shackles of blindness and perversity, or to proceed in this pattern outside of the present cycle of time and companionship of those with whom you have been karmically bound and involved for thousands and thousands of life experiences. For within the resurrected soul of the I Am consciousness comes the application of the new age and the new beginning, from out of the old and the end comes the beginning. It is out of darkness into the light that each one must come in his own evolvement. I am Sananda, Jesus the Christ of Nazareth, unto you a Savior and a Prince of this involution, evolution, earth.